right, so welcome to Yoga Flow and Sound Healing, your little midweek reset. We'll do our 45 minutes of our mobility and yoga flow, followed by our 15-minute Reiki-infused sound healing. Of course, listening to your body and taking any modifications that you need. And as always, we'll start with our name and our intention for this practice. So my name is Nikki, and my intention for this week is all about progress, wins, and self-confidence. So really reflecting on like all the wins we have going into this last stretch of the year, and just remembering to acknowledge the progress along the way. So that's my intention today.
Roshana, and there's a lot of cleaning house, and I don't mean house, I mean people, business, whatever. So right now I'm organizing anger to action. Yeah.
Perfect. Transmutation. Let's do it. We'll put it in that too.
Hey, so I'm late, first of all.
That's okay.
Scott, two things. I generally just want to stretch my muscles, but also just get a bit of headspace, some clarity on a few things.
Perfect. Well, you will get all the clarity you need, and we'll do total body today, but a little extra focus on like hips, lower body, lower back, and we'll get right into it. So here we go. We'll start flat on our back as we usually do, and just really using this hour to give yourself what you need. And so we'll begin before we even start any movement. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. And beginning with a big inhale, filling up to the top. And exhale, let go of anything from today. Another inhale, breathing in that presence, that clarity. And exhale, release anything that doesn't serve you. One last breath, breathing in whatever your intention is into your heart. And exhale, sigh it out. Placing your hands flat on the floor, beginning with some side-to-side windshield wipers. And using this next hour, whatever energy you need to transmute, clarity you wish to gain, or just overall reflection, staying present with each movement, each breath. We'll get the last one moving, and then taking your left ankle outside of your right knee. Exhale and pull the right knee towards the floor. And we'll hold here for about 20 seconds. Just noticing if there's any areas you can relax a bit. Knowing this space you can let go. And then switching to the other side, crossing your right ankle over the left knee. Exhale, pull the left knee towards the floor. Holding here at the bottom. Trying to lengthen through the crown of your head. Letting go of all of the air. And bringing your feet flat to the floor. Tuck your hips so your lower back presses into the ground. Lifting the right leg off the floor. Our single leg hamstring kicks, lowering the heel, and then actively pulling the shin towards the forehead. Again, today will be a little bit more lower body focus, so just notice how those hips and lower back is feeling now. And then we'll check in again at the end. Last one here. Keeping the right leg up, open the right leg to the side, and then actively pull the right leg across the body, stretching out that IT band. And just noticing if you can pull that leg a little further across the body, getting that extra extra stretch down the outside of the leg. And then last one. Now grabbing for both edges of the right foot, single leg happy baby. Exhale, try to pull your right knee towards your right armpit without letting that left lower back come off the floor. And with each exhale, you can get that knee just a little closer to the ground without letting that back shift in any direction. One last breath here. Crossing the right ankle across the left thigh, supine figure 4. Grabbing both hands behind your left hamstring, and then trying to pull that left leg closer to you, getting a stretch through that right glute. Again, just gently starting to open up these hips. And keeping the right shin where it's at, wrapping your right arm underneath your shin, maybe grabbing your left hand on your right foot. Extend your left leg straight into a supine pigeon in about another 20 seconds to hold. Adjusting whatever angle you need to get the best leverage with those hands, and trying to get that right shin as parallel as you can with your chest, maybe using that right elbow to drive out on that right knee. And then straightening the right leg, getting more into the hamstring. Left leg is straight, right leg is straight. Grab your right calf, and then exhale, pull your right shin towards your forehead. A supine split here, really getting the back side of that right leg, that hamstring. And it's okay if you have a soft bend in that right knee. You might feel a little bit of shaking. Just seeing if you can lengthen through that spine. About 10 more seconds to hold. And a little bit more of a challenging variation for our supine twist. Keeping your right leg straight. Pull the right leg across the left side of your body and straight leg supine twist, so your body is almost in a T-shaped position. And if that feels like too much, you can always bend that right knee if you need to. And for now, I'm trying to hold here at the bottom, trying to open that right shoulder while you pull that right heel to the floor for 10 more seconds. Remembering to breathe. And then gently unraveling from that side, placing both feet flat on the floor in a little reset in between. Inch your feet outside of your mat, and then actively pull both knees in together. And you want about 10% effort pulling both knees towards the floor. And you're going to feel a deep stretch in your hip sockets underneath those glutes. Really trying to soften through the upper body. And getting into those deep muscles deep inside of the hips. And then a little reset in between as well. Release the feet and then double leg happy baby, grabbing both edges of the feet. Exhale and pull both knees towards the armpits, towards the floor, keeping the tailbone glued to the ground. And just one breath here. And one more movement before we switch to our left side. Both feet flat on the floor, hip distance, a little ways away from you in our glute bridge. 2 slow glute bridge roll-ups, starting with pressing the lower back into the ground. Squeeze the glutes and slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Core is drawn in, fingertips reach towards the heels, and then starting to roll down from the top of the spine, seeing if you can press each individual vertebrae of your spine into the mat, slowly landing back on the tailbone. Relax for one moment and one more rep. Press the low back into the ground, squeeze the glutes, and trying to peel each vertebrae off the floor, rising up to the top, belly button drawn in, holding for 3, 2, 1, and rolling down from the top of the spine, one single vertebrae at a time. Mid back hits the floor, lower back, tailbone finishes last. And now repeating on the left leg up straight to the ceiling. Our single leg hamstring kicks, lowering the heel and then actively pulling that shin towards your forehead here. Keeping that tailbone glued to the floor. Last one. Now opening the left leg to the side and then pulling that left leg across the body, a T-band stretch. Just seeing if you can keep that whole back pressed into the floor. And if you can get that 1 extra inch in either direction. Last one here. Grabbing for the outside edges of that left foot. Single side happy baby. Exhale, draw your left knee towards your left armpit without letting that right lower back leave the ground. And with each exhale, trying to blow out all of the air, slowing down the breath. Taking that left ankle across the right thigh, our supine figure 4, grabbing behind that right hamstring, and then actively pulling that shin towards our chest, about a 20-second hold. Keeping the shin where it's at. Supine pigeon, extending the right leg straight and leveraging your arms however you need to get that stretch into that left hip. Noting that one side may feel a little tighter than the other. Taking one more breath in this supine pigeon. Extending the left leg up straight to the ceiling. Now our supine split, grabbing the left calf, and then exhale, pulling that shin towards your chest. It's okay if you have a soft bend in that left leg. And then the last one on this side, our more challenging variation of our supine twist, extending that left leg straight across the body and then looking over that left shoulder. And if you need to, you could bend the left leg, but trying to challenge yourself in this extended T position here. Remembering to breathe, especially in this more challenging variation. And releasing that side. We'll get a couple variations of what we just did for our reset in between. We'll get one more of our feet out to the side, and then actively concaving both knees in together, maybe trying to get 1 inch deeper. Keep your whole upper body relaxed and actively pull your knees towards the floor for about 10 more seconds. Breathing into that belly and then slow exhales. Gently unwinding from that concave knees. This time, instead of our happy baby, we're going to get our supine straddle, grabbing for the inside edges of the feet and then extending the legs straight out to the side as best you can. You may feel a little pop through your hips, maybe a gentle rock side to side. And then releasing the feet, last one on our back. You're going to do your feet together, knees glued together, a narrow glute bridge raise. This one we're only going to go 2 inches off the ground, and the goal is to squeeze your inner thighs, which will help with your lower back. So here we go, tilt your hips, squeeze your butt, lift 2 inches off the ground, squeeze your legs in towards each other for 3, 2, 1. You'll probably feel a little cramping, lower down, release your feet for a moment, allow that to reset, and then 1 more rep, knees together as if you're trying to hold a piece of paper, squeeze your glutes, tilt your hips, squeeze your legs in towards each other for just 3, 2, 1, and relax. And usually that is surprisingly challenging. Gently, knees together, lift your forehead towards your knees, rounding your spine, hugging in for just 3, 2, 1, and then gently a couple rocks up and down the spine until you make your way into a seated cross-shin position. And just resetting from all of that floor work. 1 shin in front of the other. Exhale, forward fold. 20-second hold here into the hips in the lower back. And then in this same position, inching side to side in a half semicircle, reaching over 1 knee, and then inching across over the other knee, getting a nice little extra stretch through the lower back. Reaching that arm close to the ear for a little extra stretch to the lats as well. We'll get last one. And then making our way back up to the top. Spinal twist each side, tall spine, exhale, twist, look over your shoulder, 1 exhale. And reverse directions, other side, tall spine, exhale, twist, looking over that back shoulder. And then releasing from that side, bringing both feet together into our butterfly, elbows into the knees, tall chest, exhale, forward fold, pressing the elbows into the knees. About a 20-second hold here. Again, today we're gonna get a lot into the hips. So really focusing on those belly breaths. Trying to soften through the lower half. One last breath here. Pressing up to the top, extending both legs straight. Inhale to rise up. And then exhale, forward fold. Extra emphasis on the calves. You're going to grab your toes and pull them toward your shins. Seeing how far you can pull those toes towards you to really get into those calves which often get neglected. So giving them a little extra pull here. And one more breath. Last one in our seated position, bringing your legs out to the side. We're gonna get a couple side bends on each side, holding for about 10 seconds on either side. Exhale, side bend, keeping your both glutes glued to the floor. Reach your arm as long as you can, holding for 10 seconds. Big inhales into the ribs that are on top. Feeling that lower back decompress. And using your supporting hands to help press you up to the top. Inhale through the center. Exhale, tall chest, other side, side bend. Keep both glutes glued to the floor. That opposite hip will try to come up. And breathing into this extended rib here, reaching the arm towards the wall, dropping the ear. Coming back through the center. Final one, coming down to the center of our straddle or pancake. Toes and knees stay up, either elbows or palms all the way flat. Just 20 seconds to hold. Again, keeping those knees and toes towards the ceiling. And pressing back up to the top. And now swinging our legs around into our tabletop, into our first cat-cow. Those hips should already be feeling much better. And today we're going to do our segmented cat-cow. So that means moving up and down the spine like a roller coaster. So just listening to my cues very carefully. So starting with a flat back, tilting just your tailbone underneath, drawing your belly button in, starting to press the mid back towards the ceiling, shoulder blades press up last, and then chin tucks towards the chest. Now keeping your upper back as rounded as you can, try to tilt just your tailbone up, like you're moving up and down a roller coaster of your spine. Start to drop your belly button. My shoulders are as tall as I can. Shoulder blades start to sink down. And then head's gonna come about neutral, gazing to the top of your mat. Now from this position, repeating, starting with tilting just your tailbone underneath. Starting to draw your belly button in. Middle back starts to round. Nice job on this slow movement. Shoulders press up. Chin finishes last. Pull those shoulder blades apart. Last rep. Keeping your upper back rounded. Tilt just your tailbone towards the sky. Seeing if you can start to pull that belly button down. Shoulders are as tall as I can. Mid back sinks. Shoulder blades sink. And then dropping down to the elbows. Now getting into just our lower back for our cat-cow, doing a little bit of a hip tilt here. Squeeze the muscles of above your tailbone, arch your back towards the ceiling. You'll feel a little bit of a burning sensation squeezing those little muscles. And then draw your belly button in, tighten your core, and tuck your hips underneath, working those deep abdominals. And continuing at your own pace for 30 seconds. Squeeze the muscles just above the tailbone. You should feel a little burning if you're really squeezing them. That low back. Strengthening that area. And then draw your deep core in by drawing your belly button in. Round, tuck your hips as much as you can. Crunch your abs in. And then in this same position, one last movement here, drawing some circles with our tailbone, starting to the right, tracing those hips in a circle, take your time and I'll let you know when to switch to the left. And our hips can really store a lot of emotions. So if anything comes up, any anger that comes through, any sadness, frustration, just sigh it out with a big breath, letting it go, transmuting it. And then reversing directions to the left. Just notice all of the feelings and the sensations in your body. Get one more circle to the left. And then inching down all the way to our forearms into a cobra. So feet about hip distance, pressing up, shoulder blades pulled back, about a 30-second hold. If you squeeze your quads, you'll feel a little more pressure through that lower back. Eyes softly gazing just in front of your fingertips. And then lowering down. One more stretch on our belly here. Right arm to the side, left leg bent, left elbow bent. Kicking up and over into our scorpion. Opening up that hip, 30-second hold. A little bit into the shoulder as well. I'm just trying to open that left knee to the side here. And reversing directions. Left arm to the side, right leg kicks up and over, opening up the left shoulder as well as the right hip and lower back, and letting that head rest into the floor. And coming out of that scorpion and pressing up into our upward facing dog. And flip the toes, downward facing dog. Starting to pedal out those heels and those calves. Extra emphasis on pressing the full heel into the ground since we have a little lower body focus today. We'll get the last one. Eyes gaze up to the top of your mat. Jump or step towards your hands, toes facing in. Fingertips come underneath the toes. Tuck your chin, spinal decompression, slight rounding up to the top. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands, grabbing the elbows. Exhale, forward fold, ragdoll. A gentle sway side to side. Just decompressing that lower back. Placing your hands flat on the floor. Stepping your left foot about 6 inches forward. Keeping your hips square. Exhale, forward fold over the left leg. 20-second hold. Getting a deep stretch through that left hamstring. Trying to get that chest flat onto that leg. And stepping the left foot back, stepping the right foot 6 inches forward, flat spine, exhale, forward fold over that right leg. Most of the weight in that right heel. Trying to let that chest melt onto the leg. And releasing from that side, toes facing in, chin tucked, rolling up to the top, one single vertebrae at a time. Chin is going to finish last as you sweep the arms up overhead, grabbing for one wrist, and then stepping that foot behind so that the foot behind is reaching the same way as you side bend. Feeling that deep stretch down your side into your hip, lower back. Inhale through the center. Other foot crosses behind. Exhale, side bend towards that back foot, sending your hip the other direction. Coming back to the center. Hands come down towards the thighs, and then tucking your chin, rolling back down one single vertebrae at a time. You might feel a little pulling down the back of those legs. Hands come down to the top of your mat, stepping back into a high plank, lower down to your push-up, upward facing dog, and then flip the toes, downward facing dog. We're gonna move immediately into a couple more hip sequences. In our downward facing dog, lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, open your right hip, and then tracing 3 big circles backwards. Trying to trace as big of a circle as you can here. And reversing directions, tracing that knee the other way. Nice big circles. Last one, coming back to the three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, press up and back. Exhale, right knee comes to right elbow. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, press up and back. Last one, right knee comes to left elbow. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Final one, inhale up and back. And then right foot steps all the way through. Squeeze your left quad, holding here for about 2 breaths. Just extending that spine long. And dropping the left knee to the floor. Inhale, rising up, tall into our lunge. Reach the hands behind your back. Exhale, sit the hip forward. About a 20-second hold here. Reaching those knuckles down your left hamstring, chest towards the ceiling. And bowing forward so the right shoulder lands on the right knee. Holding for just 3, 2, 1. Hands come outside of the right foot. Send your hip back into your half kneeling split. Flat back. 3 forward folds over that right shin. Exhale, forward fold. Forehead comes to that shin. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, reach the chest long over the leg. Inhale, pressing up. And last one, exhale, forward fold. Sending the leg forward once again, bending into a low lunge. Hands come inside of the right foot. And if you can, all the way down to your elbows. We have a full 1 minute hold here. We're gonna get into a few challenging holds, but your hips and your lower back are going to thank you for the extra love and attention. And just noticing any progress in your mobility that you've made since making this a regular practice. Maybe you're able to get into a little deeper position than you could have in the past. You have 30 more seconds to go. We've got 2 more long poses on this side before we switch to the other leg. We'll take 1 more full breath here. Exhale, letting go. You're going to sit your hip back, slide your left knee forward into our half saddle, left heel outside the left glute, making sure we feel nothing through our kneecap and we feel our quad and our hip flexor. Option 1 is a tall hold. Option 2 on the elbows, Or option 3, all the way flat to your back. We're here for a full minute. So whatever your body is needing today, and if you're all the way flat on your back with me, you'll also feel a little lower back. And again, if you feel anything uncomfortable through the kneecap, you can always ease off the stretch. Seeing if you can relax that glute. Let yourself melt into the floor. Feeling that hip opening up. 30 more seconds to go. Just feeling everything decompress. Just letting it go and choosing your peace. Choosing that clarity. Feeling that pride in yourself for showing up. And the last breath here. Pressing our way up to the top. Final stretch will be on our right leg. Right leg comes forward, send the left leg back, left knee presses into the floor. We're gonna get 3 forward folds and then a 90-second pigeon. So exhale, forward fold over that right knee. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, reach the chest long over that leg. Inhale, pressing up. Final one, exhale, forward fold, and surrender into a long 90-second release of that hip. Finding the optimal position for your body. You can lean into the discomfort. It's something you can maintain for the next 70 seconds. Deep belly breaths as you lean more of that torso onto that shin and thigh. Trying to rest your body weight there. You are halfway through. We have just a few more minutes of our movement practice. So enjoying every sensation, leaning a little more into it. Taking one final breath here as we repeat this on the next side. Pressing our hands back towards our shin, tuck your left toes, pressing up, step the right foot back. One last lowering down into our push-up, pressing up into our upward facing dog. Flip the toes, downward facing dog. You guys are doing amazing work today, definitely a challenging flow. Final sequence, lift your left leg up towards the ceiling, open your left hip, bend your left knee, tracing 3 big circles backwards. Just checking in with that lower back and hips, how they're feeling that progress. Reverse directions, couple circles the other way. And then left knee comes to left to your nose. Hold 3, 2, 1. Inhale, press up and back. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Hold 3, 2, 1. Press up and back. Last one. Left knee comes to right elbow. Hold 3, 2, 1. Inhale, up and back. And step your left foot through, right quad squeezes straight for just 2 breaths. Lengthen through your crown of your head. Dropping your right knee to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, reach behind your back, sinking forward, 20-second hold, reaching the knuckles down your right hamstring, tall chest. And forward fold, left shoulder meets the left knee for 3, 2, 1. Hands come outside of the foot, shift the hips back into our half split. 3 forward folds. Exhale, forward fold over that left leg. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pressing up. Last one, exhale, forward fold. Sending the hip forward, hands inside of the foot or down to the elbows if you can for a 1-minute hold. Fully surrendered, you are so close, just a couple minutes to go. Letting that left knee fall slightly off to the side. Breathing in how proud of you are for your body, leaning into the discomfort, and you are already halfway there. Deep belly breath. And last breath here. And 2 final poses of the day. Sending the hip back, adjusting the right leg, and same 3 options for our half saddle. Getting into our 1-minute hold here. Again, if you feel anything through that kneecap, you're going to want to adjust your position, listen to your body. And stay really present with every sensation. Letting go of your mind. Seeing if you can draw even more into the body as we start to unwind from our movement. Less than 30 seconds to go. Melting into the floor with every exhale. Final stretch of the day. Coming on up into our left leg pigeon. Sending the right leg back. 3 forward folds. Tall chest. Exhale, forward fold over that left leg. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, forward fold. Center that chest. Inhale, pressing up. Last one, exhale, melt. Final 90 seconds to hold. Letting yourself fully surrender. That was a tough flow for the hips and lower body. So acknowledging that as a win, that you've made it through. Already halfway there. Seeing if you can relax just a little more. And taking one last breath here. And whenever you feel complete, making your way to your back with your head facing the top of the room with the bowls into your Shavasana, final resting pose. Taking any water that you need as we transition into our sound bath healing. Staying really present with your breath and your body. Bringing that intention to mind that you came here to class today. Feeling the weight of your body against the ground. And just noticing how those hips and lower back are feeling since before you started class today. We will start our sound healing in just a moment. Our intention for our Reiki-infused sound bath healing is going to be progress, wins, and self-confidence. So really acknowledging yourself for all of the progress you've made, the wins big and small, and making sure we are making time to celebrate ourselves. And with that, being open to receiving, we will begin. back at this past month of all the things in your health, your wealth, your relationships, maybe picking a different category than that first goal. What is something you are proud